And can I first thank the Chair of the Transport Select Committee for her efforts in securing this debate, and indeed the Backbench Business Committee for granting it to us. Madam Deputy Speaker, at Long Eaton train station in my constituency, the two platforms are very well above ground level. They're both accessed by narrow ramps, and on both sides of the train line there's a steep upward incline, and these ramps are guarded at each end by rails which prevent people cycling up and down them. But the sharpness of that gradient means that if a traveller has any kind of mobility issues, their journey up the platform might be rather difficult. The barriers, of course, make it effectively impossible for anybody who requires a wheelchair to make it up, and some odd tarmac on the ramp often sees people with no mobility issues at all hit the deck every time there's a freeze. From personal experience on my parliamentary commute, Madam Deputy Speaker, I can confirm not fun. 2 lifts were thankfully installed, though, at Long Eaton train station in 2012. It was part of the Network Rail's Access for All programme, launched by the last Labour government in 2006, and it continues to this day. This installation was, I think, great progress towards improving disabled access to the platforms, but the actual operation of the lifts, I think, leaves something quite extensive to be desired. Travellers can only actually use the lifts when somebody is on duty at the ticket office, which is normal 9 to 5 hours. Now, thankfully, despite the previous Conservative government's best efforts in 2023, that does remain open, but it's severely limiting for travellers. It's not staffed all the time, meaning of an evening, of a weekend, the lifts can't be used and disabled members of my community can't access the platforms. On that, though, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'd like to pay tribute to my local councillor, Dave Doyle. Dave's a very good friend of mine, and indeed Sawley Parish Council Chair Alan Chewings. Dave and Alan do great work and have done great work going back many years in raising the alarm on accessibility failures at Long Eaton train station. Indeed, when Dave, Alan and myself campaigned against the proposed ticket office closure a few years ago, disabled people's access was very much the thing that we were focused on at that time. And great thanks to Dave and Alan for their efforts over the years. I've met previously with Midlands Connect and Network Rail and spoken about persistent issues at Long Eaton station. Struggles with accessibility result from its relative lack of modernisation, but the problems don't stop there, Madam Deputy Speaker. The platform is also unusually short. There is a special announcement every time I get on my train back home, meaning basically the long intercity trains can't open all of their doors because you can't access them from the whole platform. It leads to misconnections and confusion for travellers all across the board. Additionally, the railway bridge right next to the station across Tamworth Road is 200 years old, and it's now so low and so narrow that it chokes all traffic going under what is a very, very important thoroughfare between Long Eaton and the M1. The road under the bridge also regularly floods, which means that people have to take a 15-minute diversion. The infrastructure just isn't there that we need. In summary, Madam Deputy Speaker, we need proper investment to ensure that the station is accessible every day at all times. Long Eaton is a commuter town. Ultimately, it's at the heart of the East Midlands, with regular trains running to Nottingham, Derby and Leicester, and it's less than 2 hours door-to-door to the House of Commons, which is very convenient. But I think it needs to be modernised, and any project that does that needs to recognise disabled people's rights to accessibility so everyone can use the station to get where they need to go.
Yeah.